Well, hello, welcome back to my kitchen. You may not know this, but I've been missing for about a week. I put a video up yesterday, but I did that remotely. We had an impromptu vacation. We got offered to go down the shore for a week. We packed up and boom, we were out of here. So we're back now, and so we're gonna be cooking tonight. We got back a little while ago. I had something else planned for dinner tonight, but my grandson was here while we were gone. Trey was here because he was at college, and that finished up for the summer, and left out some meat in the refrigerator. He's like, Grandma, if you're going home, use that meat. You gotta use it or we're gonna lose it. So what I had planned for today, I'm gonna pivot. I'm still gonna have what I wanted, I'm just gonna pivot a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean when I get over there. So this is a quick and an easy. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go, let's heat up those pots, come on. All right, here we go. This is what I wanted to have for dinner, kind of. On the way home, or while we were gone, I was craving a baked potato, but I really wanted like a stuffed baked potato. So I decided on the way home, I was also feeling like I wanted some sloppy joes. So it came to my mind, why don't I make sloppy joe stuffed potatoes? Everybody's like, cool, let's have that, that's great. And then I get the call from my grandson, you gotta use that chicken. I had it sitting in there, there you go. Don't ask me why he picked the label off, I don't know. But so I'm gonna pivot. I decided, instead of making sloppy joes the traditional way with the ground meat and all that kind of stuff, why don't we make sloppy chicken stuffed potatoes? So that's what we're going to attempt to do today. I've never made this. I thought it up in the car. Maybe it's a thing somewhere. I don't know about it, but I guess if you can make it, you could stuff it in a potato. Also, what's new on this counter to us, so we've got anybody who is dairy free, we just found that BioLife Colby Jack shreds. So we're excited about that. That's for Eric for the dairy free. And then I have a little bit of the Italian blend in the back. I think I'm gonna mix it together. You're going to need cheese of some kind. I have Colby Jack. I'm just using what I have. Some potatoes, chicken, and sloppy joe sauce. I'm not even making the sauce. I'm going straight with the can today. So I have to ease on back into the cooking. So without further ado, we're gonna start cooking. First thing I'm gonna do is wash up those potatoes. All right, here we go. First thing I did, I washed and dried my potatoes. These potatoes are massive. I don't think I need all 4 of these potatoes, but somebody will eat it. I think a half a potato will do for a serving because they're so big. The smallest one is this one, and even that one's still kind of, it's as big as my whole hand. And I can't even put my hand around it. This one here is probably as big as my forearm. Anyway, I digress. There's 2 ways that I make baked potatoes. Well, 3. The quick and fast way, toss it in the microwave or the air fryer, boom, done. Another way is to get a saltwater brine and you stick the potato in there. No more than 30 seconds, you run it around, you put it on a wire rack in the oven, and it comes out, you'll see like a dry salt on it. I don't really do the put it in aluminum foil thing because they always come out steamed, and I like the skin crispy and salty. So what I'm doing today is another way that I make baked potatoes. First thing I have, my oven preheated at 450 degrees. Yep, that's what I said. I washed and dried my potatoes. I'm not going to poke them just yet because if I poke them, because I'm going to rub them in some oil. If I poke them, I put the oil on, it could seal up the holes and then the steam doesn't escape. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me get my wire rack and my pan out. All right, so I put a piece of parchment paper in there in case anything drips or whatever, just for easier cleanup. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the oil and we're going to rub it on the potato. And then I'm going to roll it in salt. That's about as, whoop. I accidentally put too much oil on my hands. Hold on. All right, there we go. That was way too much. Don't do that. And I have gloves on my hand for that very reason. We're going to roll these puppies in some oil. I really put too much oil in that thing. It'll be all right, though. Just a nice little dousing of oil on it. I'm trying to use it up. Okay. Now that the oil is on the potato, I hope it doesn't slip out of my hand with its greasy fingers. Now I'm going to poke the holes. Poke as little or as many as you want. I don't know if there's a rule on how many holes you have to poke, but I just poke it all the way around. Ding dong, there goes my phone. I always forget to silence it. I'm sorry, I keep going off camera. All right, so now that I got that done, almost, a couple more. We're just gonna salt them. Man, oh man, I got greasy hands. You could use as as little or as much as you like. I usually spill some on the counter or whatever I'm using and just roll it in there. And then you take your salted potato, stick it on there. We're going to put this in the oven, 450, until the internal temperature, I think it's 205. Isn't that funny how we now have internal temperatures for potatoes? All right, so that's that. Put those in the oven. I'm going to let these cook about halfway before I start on the chicken. Maybe a little less than halfway because it is chicken. So I'm going to put these in the oven at, there you go, there's my oven preheated. We're going to put those in the oven, 450. I like a lot of salt in my skins. I don't know. All right, there you go. In the oven, 450 till it reaches the internal temperature of 205. I'll be back a little bit for the chicken. You know what I forgot to mention is you want to leave enough room between the potatoes. I know it's a lot of talk about a potato, but you want to leave enough room between them so that they can, the steam can escape. All righty. So I was going to show you how to take the vein out of that little fat strip, the tendon out of there, but those things had legs. I had a heck of a time getting it out of the chicken, so some of it's mutilated, but I did the best I could. So anyway, back at the farm. We're just going to season your chicken because I'm going to pan fry it a little bit, and then I'm going to simmer it in a little bit of water so it's shreddable. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my regular old everyday run-of-the-mill seasonings that I use. We're going to use some seasoning salt, not a lot because we got a lot of salt going on in this. Some onion powder. And I'm going to do this on both sides. I'm just not going to show you me doing it to the second side. Well, maybe I will because I'll do it in the pan. Garlic powder. Paprika. As we say in my house, paprika. I mean, it's going to go with Sloppy Joe seasoning. I don't know that all this is going to matter, but it matters to me. All right, let's get over to the stove. That was pepper. All right, I'll put a little olive oil in the pan, not a lot. It's a very big frying pan, so I'm just going to drizzle it lightly across. It's easy to control because I do that with the cap. You put that thing in there upside down. I'll show you guys all the time. And I'm going to put the chicken in here. I'm just going to season it in the pan, and I just want it to just brown a little bit, just for a little extra depth of flavor. Just because we're doing quick and easy doesn't mean we can't do tasty. Feels warm. Let's see. Nope, not quite warm enough. Give it a minute. All right, season side down. Way more chicken than I need, but we'll eat it. So I'm just going to season it the same way I did the other side. Seasoned salt, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and some pepper. So I'm just going to give that a nice browning on both sides, and then I'm going to do something else so we can get it to be a little bit more shreddable. Let me clear off the area here and make sure my hands are clean. Let's see how the chicken's looking. I just want it browned. I don't want it cooked. There we go. Woo! Yep. Oh, I'm stuck on my necklace. Yeah, that looks good. Just gonna give that another minute, and then we're gonna simmer it a little bit so it's shreddable. All right, I'm back. I made a little bit of chicken broth. I wish I had low sodium. Put a lot of salt in this recipe. I just realized that. Well, it won't hurt us for one meal. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add some. Ooh, splattered me. Gotta add a little bit on here for just so we could simmer in it. Not a lot. Well, as much as you need. There. So I'm just gonna let that simmer in that chicken broth until it's shreddable. Put a lid on it. A few minutes. By the time that's ready, we'll mix the stuff up. We'll be ready for the potatoes. And I'm telling you, I'm smelling them and they smell fabulous. Don't forget your lid. Keeps the moisture in. Let's give it a look-see. Oop. Steam. I turned it all the way down just to see if it's what it's doing. I say we're shreddable. Let me get this juice out of here. All right, I took out 3 of the 4 potatoes. The other one's still in there. It's a little bit bigger. It's cooking. So I'm just gonna let them sit back here by the return and move back to the chicken. All right, we're gonna get back to shredding because I don't want those sitting too long. I don't want them to get cold. So basically, I took the water, the broth out, and I'm just gonna shred this up real quick. By the time I'm done shredding this up, the other potato should be done. But I just like cooking it a little bit before we do the shredding. So that's just all I'm gonna do. Just gonna shred this up. All right, here we go. I'm gonna dump this can of what am I doing? Sloppy Joe mix right in there. I tasted that chicken. Just that little bit of seasoning I put on there, it's banging. I don't even think we needed the Sloppy Joe, but I was committed to having Sloppy Joe stuffed potatoes. So we're just gonna, oh, I forgot to turn the stove back on. There we go. And we're just gonna mix this up, warm it through, and then I'm gonna show you how we're going to assemble these bad boys. Wonder what it tastes like. I've never had Sloppy Joe sauce on chicken. And I don't even know remember how this sloppy Joe stuff tastes because I always make my own. Let's see. Let's snitch a taste of it. Just one of them. Let's see. It's not bad. Mine's better. Actually, that needs some seasoning. Hold on. I'm going to put a pinch of brown sugar. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I feel like it needs it. I literally mean like a pinch. That's good. That's enough. This was supposed to be a quick and an easy, but it just kind of, it needed it. All right. So I'm going to get the other potato out of the oven and start assembling. One more taste of this before we go. All right, ready?
Taste test.
Ah, Eric caught me taste testing. Yeah, this sloppy Joe mix needed it. All right, you ready to eat?
Yes, I am.
We're almost there. All right, let's go to the countertop. All right, so there's Eric's. I'm going to show you how I made that with ours. But again, that's what I used on his. Violife Colby Jack and Daya brand Italian blend. Look how good that, I just want to rip that skin off and eat it. Nice and crispy. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these in half. Each person gets a full potato. You could probably feed 6 people with the amount of food I have here. But I'm gonna turn it up on its other side so that it lays flat. And these have been out of the oven for a few minutes, so they're not super, super hot, which is great because I don't feel like having my fingers burned. Let me just cut that open. I forgot to mention, I pre-asked the kids if they wanted them halved or just like one potato opened. They said halved, but you can cut an X in here and then squish them together and pile it up like that. I'm doing what my family wanted. All right. Oop, that was hot. Ooh, I don't know if you can see that steam coming out of that puppy, but woohoo! Huh. All right. So what I did was I took the knife, yank, yank, yank like this, just loosening up the potato because I didn't like mush it together. That was hot. I had to eat it. It was burning my finger. All right. So then what I do, when I make baked potatoes anyway, because I've never made this before, I'm going to put a little bit of butter down on it just to, I don't know, just a something for the potato. Like I said, I'm making this up as I go. So when I make stuffed potatoes, like I've made pulled pork, this is what I did. So I'm not 100% making it up as I go. I just don't know if it's the right thing to do with this particular type of meat. All right, so try to do the best I can. First thing I'm gonna do is put a little bit of cheese on the bottom. Not a lot, just some. It's going all over the counter. This is exactly how I did Eric's with his cheese. Okay, that's good. I'm dropping it everywhere. All right, it'll clean up. It's all right. All right, so we have the zhuzhed up sloppy Joe mix. I guess I'm so used to making my own. This stuff tastes like ketchup. And we're just gonna put some of this sloppy chicken down here. As much or as little as you want. You do you, boo! I have plenty. go. I think that's good. They want more, they can add more. Then we're gonna top it with some more cheese. And that thing's going back in the oven. Much or as little as you like. Normally I would put salt and pepper on the potato, but because there's so much salt in this stuff, I really don't want to do that. I have no idea how much this meal is. If you're watching it and I put the price up, that means I figured it out. Whoop. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the oven, melt down the cheese, and we're gonna be eating. Just dropping whatever's left in there on here. All right, be back in a few minutes. Try to stick it down on top of this other pan so it doesn't burn my counter. It won't, but there you go. That's looking yummy. I can't wait to eat, so I'm gonna meet you at the table. And there's our plates. This one is Eric's. It melts a little bit differently than ours, but we're gonna go eat now. Dinner time! I can't wait. Now, this dish was supposed to be served with a side of broccoli. Kids said, no broccoli. They want to eat the potato, and that's it. It's big enough, they said. So, okay. Well, let's work for Mommy. So, we cut off a piece already. I hope mine's not too piping hot. It's too big? You got a knife right there. I think I made mine too big, too. I want to get some of that chewy skin in there. I love that. When I make it like this, you know how the skin is.
Yeah, it's good.
Oops, I can't get it off. How come? Oh, a chewy piece, right? All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and eat that big piece. Ready?
Right.
Careful, don't burn. Wait. All right, now mine's cooled down a little bit. Ready? Let's go. Mmm. 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 I like it. I like the salty skin on the potato too.
That's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like that?
Perfect.
Perfect? Yeah. I like the crusty skin. That's why I kept it out of the foil and put the oil on it. Aiden's over there. He didn't want to be on camera, but we'll all eat it. We'll give you our final thoughts at the wrap up. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How'd we do? Did they eat it all? Boom. Yes, they did, but not the meat. There is no potatoes left, and they were huge. I cannot believe they ate them. I ate half of one and then shared the rest with the kids. Not Eric, though, because mine had cheese and he can't have it. So let's see what they thought about this idea I came up with. Eric, what'd you think about dinner?
It was amazing.
Amazing, huh? That's it?
The only thing I could think of it, like amazing is the best word I could possibly think of, so that's why I say it for a time.
All right. Amazing. He says it's amazing. It's amazing. Who's next? Aiden, what'd you think about dinner?
It was awesome.
He liked it a lot. Him and Tyler helped finish mine. Tyler, what'd you think about dinner?
This dinner was fantastic. It was very good.
Yeah, it was definitely unique. For me, I feel like I'm not a fan of the canned Sloppy Joe stuff. I'm glad I zhuzhed it up. That made it better. I probably would prefer my own Sloppy Joe mix, but it'll do in a pinch. It was absolutely good. It was a very different taste. I'm glad I tried it, and I will eat it again. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment either way. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help me out. See you later. Bye.